First, got a big announcement to make today. Our good friend Scott Taylor, Delegate Taylor, good to have you.
John, it's great to be with you today. Happy Veterans Day. Let me first say that the only reason why I'm able to be on your program today is because I stand upon the shoulders of those who I've had the honor and the privilege to be able to serve with, better men than me. And since the start of this nation, there's been an unwavering, undaunted, and unbroken commitment to freedom from generations of veterans. So thank you to all your listeners who are veterans out there, and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much, and happy Veterans Day to everybody, and to Scott, who served our country admirably as a Navy SEAL, put his body in harm's way, and part of the reason that we're able to get on the radio today and just say whatever we want, within certain FCC guidelines, of course. Now, Delegate Taylor, big announcement today. We understand that you have made the decision to seek statewide office.
John, thanks for asking. I have made a decision. We were asked to consider it. We talked to some leadership and folks around here and family and friends and donors, and everything was very positive. So today I'm announcing that we are opening up a PAC, and we will be exploring a run for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia.
All right. Scott Taylor, House of Delegates member, Virginia Beach, former Navy SEAL, also and now well-known author, running for Lieutenant Governor for the Republican nomination. And this election will be 2017. Now, in order to get on the ballot, well, you're going to have to win you're going to have to be the Republican nominee. Now, Scott, we expect probably about 10 candidates in this race, from Shaq Hill to Micah Edmonds to Ralph Smith, Corey Stewart. I mean, it goes on and on. Could be Glenn Davis. Many candidates are going to be in this race. First question. Do you think it's going to be decided in a primary in June or a convention in May? I think it's going to be a convention, but I've heard other people say that it might not. What do you think?
Well, it's a good question. I think that the conventional wisdom right now is that it is a convention, given that's everything that I'm hearing is it will be a convention. However, that being said, there is, I think, a vote between now and then that could change that to a primary. So I think that we're going to be traveling the state and talking to folks. We have a great network in Southwest and Nova as well, too. As you know, I've done a lot of national stuff, so we have a big network of military-type folks and supporters of that all over Virginia, and specifically in Nova. I'm from the Delmarva Peninsula, so we got friends up and down the shore, and, of course, I'm here in Hampton Roads. So I think that we're well-positioned and prepared to do either one, and whatever they decide to do at State Central, we'll be prepared, and we'll go forth, and I know that we'll be competitive.
Okay, now, I have had a major change in position, Scott. And I tell you what, it's tough to get me to change my mind, but I'm flexible and open. I have been railing against these conventions forever in Virginia. I was always for primaries, certainly for a primary on Super Tuesday. But I've now done a 180, and I believe that state party nominations, the convention's the way to go, because of the fact that we don't have party registration. And so it's just hard to get a clear handle on who your nominee is when you don't know who is part of the selection process, right? So I think that's an issue. So I'm anticipating it's going to be a convention also. Scott, having covered this convention in 2013 and talking to the candidates, I mean, I know a lot of these lieutenant governor candidates spent just weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks going all over the state, because you got to meet with individual people. It's not like you can just put TV ads up. I mean, you got to just meet with people over and over and over from basically one end of Virginia to the other, and it's one-on-one politicking. Are you in a position, do you think, to be able to do that?
Let me answer your yeah, absolutely. And let me answer your question, I guess, backwards. Number one, yes. I've positioned myself in my business to be able to step away. I've rental properties, of course, so it's a management company, and I have a lot of time to be able to do that. And I definitely will. And quite frankly, I'm very confident and comfortable meeting with folks one-on-one. I actually prefer that. I think it's great. I think there is no substitute for looking someone in the eyes and answering their questions, and they can get an assessment, whether they agree with you or not, of course. I'm a natural networker. We have a great network already. I think that we're going to do very, very well and be very competitive. We see, or as of right now, we certainly see a path to victory. So we'll continue down that road. We'll talk to folks. I don't pretend to think that I know all the what the issues are in the nooks and crannies all around Virginia, but I'm looking forward to meeting people and listening, answering their questions face to face.
Well, I think you have a shot, and I'm going to just tell my listeners why. And this is, haven't talked to Delegate Taylor about this. It's just pure conjecture, narrative, if you will, right in the middle of our segment with former Navy SEAL and House of Delegates member Scott Taylor. Look, I believe that Frank Wagner, after his big victory on Tuesday night over Gary McCollum, I believe that Frank Wagner is going to run for governor. And don't count him out. He's going to bring 1,000 delegates that I estimate to any convention, many of them from the Southeast Virginia and the shore area. A lot of those delegates coming for Wagner, I think they're going to end up maybe being backers of Scott Taylor also.
Well, I'm not sure what Frank's going to do. He'll have to make that political decision, of course, but I can tell you that, and if you've ever been to any of my events, we can bring a lot of people to a room very quickly. And you were actually at that other convention that was here in Virginia Beach, and we brought a lot of people there. So I'm just confident that we're able to do that. And, of course, from people who would not typically come to conventions, I think that we can absolutely identify and organize and motivate folks to come to somewhere. And I think people in Virginia want strong leaders. They want people who will rail against expanding, budget-busting Obamacare, because success, of course, should be measured by how few Virginians we sign up for government entitlements as opposed to how many. I think they want strong leaders who have no problem fighting against the governor and billionaire Bloomberg's gun control agenda. And I think that I've proven that I'm a strong leader.
Well, I don't think there's any question. And look, I go back to the convention you had in Virginia Beach. I think it was about 12 months ago, and it was at Cox High School, I think, somewhere on a Tuesday night or a Monday night. You guys got over 900 people out. That's tough to do. That's really tough to do when I think you were voting for, I guess, District 2 chairman and the chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. I mean, getting 1,000 people out of the high school on a Tuesday night in the middle of nowhere, tough order. You got that. So I think that definitely makes you formidable. Look, the other thing, I think people are going to be looking for new leadership. Virginia Republicans don't right now hold a single statewide office anywhere. I think it's going to be tough to get the same politicians back doing the same thing over and over, lobbyists, losers. I think those delegates that come to what I think is going to be the convention, Delegate Taylor, in May of 17 in Charlottesville or Richmond, wherever it is, I think they're going to be looking for something new. I think they're going to be looking for conservatives who they think can win, that represent something different than we've seen. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more, John. Look, I go everywhere, black, brown, white, every event. It doesn't matter to me. I go everywhere, and everywhere we go, we're able to get volunteers. And I just think that, look, I agree with your assessment that Virginians are looking for someone who can, or not just someone, but other folks as well too, who can bridge the generational gap, who can deliver our conservative message to all Virginians who have the vision and have a vision for the Commonwealth and have forward-looking, positive vision for freedom, responsibility, opportunity, and growth here in the Commonwealth, not just simply bringing companies in, for Fortune 500 companies, to create jobs, which I like, but also investing in Virginians here and helping to grow organically to create jobs. And I think that we can do that. We can bridge the generational gap. We can go into places where other Republicans can't necessarily and bring people out. And you see that in events that I hold now, and we're going to do the same thing if there is a convention or if there's a primary. We'll be prepared.
All right, so check this out. I just want everybody to envision this, right? So we have a convention in May of 2017. And again, Delegate Taylor, this is simply my narrative, all right? So injecting commentary in this. So you have this convention in Richmond or Charlottesville, wherever it is. It's going to be somewhere that's in central in the state. And you could have three candidates from Southeast Virginia running for statewide office at that convention. I don't think that's ever been done. Of course, we had Bob McDonnell, but you actually could have Taylor running for lieutenant governor. Glenn Davis might run for lieutenant governor. I'm convinced Wagner's going to run for governor. I mean, Southeast Virginia could dominate that convention. Wouldn't that be interesting, Scott?
It would be. Obviously, we're a formidable part of the state, but we are running for statewide, and that means representing all Virginians, of course, which is why I've announced this exploratory run, so that we can go around and talk to everybody and make sure that we understand everyone's issues. And I think that's very important. I've had great positive feedback from some of the elected folks in other parts of the state, so I look forward to getting into their districts and listening to them and listening to their folks. But I think that you're right. I think that we will be a force to be reckoned with if something like that happens.
And Southeast Virginia should be dominant at any convention nominating Republicans, right? Because at the end of the day, Southeast Virginia is a swing district in the ultimate swing, the swing region in the ultimate swing state, coupled with the fact at the top of the ticket on the other side is going to be the current Lieutenant Governor, Ralph Northam, who is from Hampton Roads, from the Eastern Shore, and he's got a block there. So I think the best thing Republicans can do is have somebody at least on the ticket from the Tidewater area.
Well, John, your listeners are out there. They listen to you, and you talk about that. And numerically, look, if you're going to win statewide, which we've lost, of course, the last 5 statewide elections, so something different has to be there. And there's no doubt about it that there has to be a strong presence from the Tidewater area, and the presidential campaigns know that as well too. If you're going to win Virginia, then you have to do well in Hampton Roads. Period. So I think that you're right. It is important that we have someone on the ticket eventually, of course, that's from this area.
Well, you have to have that. And it's going to be interesting. And look, I just do the math. I mean, this is the swing region of the swing state, and I've said this many times. All roads to the White House come right through Virginia for Republicans, at least, because if you don't win Virginia as a Republican trying to ascend to the presidency, the electoral map and the math really narrows on you. I mean, you have absolutely no room for error. You have to start winning states like Iowa, Wisconsin, states that are a little bit tougher. So you got to win Virginia. Okay, I got to read you this text, Delegate Taylor from Den in Chesapeake, who says, okay, tell Scott I'm in. So you got a supporter right there.
Thank you, Ben. So it's not a shutout.
Okay,
not a shutout.
This is Den, so you've got at least one vote from Den in Chesapeake. He also says you have to tell everybody, John, to read Scott's book, Trust Betrayed. I tell everyone that I see to buy and read the book. It is the real story of the Benghazi debacle. It tells the facts of how to help for those who were killed, were available in Croatia, but were never deployed. Every person needs to read Trust Betrayed. So, Scott, you got a real fan.
Look,
Den in Chesapeake.
Let me say to your listeners, I did not tell Ben to text in. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for the book club. But listen, when you do read that, you also understand what's going on globally and how, things globally and in national security and foreign policy really affect Virginia. We're ground zero, really, for the Navy, if you will, for national security, which is very important. And, Virginia is a pivotal state in this nation and quite frankly, this world. And it's very important that we have strong leaders that understand that.
Scott Taylor, House of Delegates member, Virginia Beach, Navy SEAL Team 4, running for Lieutenant Governor in Virginia, Republican side, 2017. Done deal. Delegate Taylor, people want more info on your Lieutenant Governor candidacy. Where do they go?
I'll tell you what, just like, Ben, we appreciate you out there, of course. If it is a convention that's looking like that, we're going to be motivating, organizing, and getting people out there. So you can sign up at ScottTaylorVA.com, ScottTaylorVA.com. It's the same on Facebook. It's the same on Twitter. It's the same on Instagram.
ScottTaylorVA.com. All right, Delegate Taylor, candidate for Lieutenant Governor 2017, first to announce on our show. Thanks for being with us. Happy Veterans Day.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. Happy Veterans Day.
All right.